1 and hi everyone, Simon here with the next episode of my team Minardi. I are on F1 at 2020. We just came off the back of a fairly decent run in Bahrain. Nothing that would absolutely tickle everyone's fancy, but I thought it went quite well. Next up is Vietnam at the Hanoi race circuit, and I am not learning that track at all well. So, first things first, let's start seeing what we want to do with our actual things. We're not doing an esport event. It's all a bit meta for my liking. However, quite like that. To get in some more aerodynamic stuff. I'd also like a fundraiser. Now that 4-day event works quite nicely, but there's also something around doing durability team building, I think. And then I'm quite happy to do some reaction training with Jordan King, and I think that will do me quite nicely for that. Let's take a little look at our facilities. So we're going to get 360 points in R&D. I'd quite like to be able to squeeze in the potential. It's going to be 600, isn't it, for there? So that's not great. And that's all kind of, yeah, we're a bit stook, aren't we? Get 500 in there. We could do the development upgrade for the durability since we are the most knackered team. So that could be worthwhile doing. I'm not really going to play around with too much else, if I'm perfectly honest, at the moment. The other thing I was kind of thinking about was more around...
We can spend any extra money that you secured on perks.
Oh, hello, Emma.
Each of these perks benefit both you and your current team. They stay with you, so they'll make you a more attractive prospect in future negotiations.
So for me, excuse me, I would quite like the additional resource points to be boosted. Driver claim would be boosted by 10%. I'm okay with that for now. We'll come back to that. But that is definitely my thing there. Everyone else looking very good in their different ratings of stuff. That does not look like Jack Aiken. I'm quite happy with that. So let's advance some time.
Our new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Good. So that now leaves that free, but there's just now, instead of having nothing there, we've got no... There we go. That's good, and I'm fine with the reaction training. We're now on 1.14 million. That's leapfrogged us ahead of Alfa Romeo, interestingly. That's good to know. So again, that 625 we can't do anything with. Oh, it's too much of a failure chance, I feel like, on both of those. Do you know what? Let's continue on, because when we hit the Grand Prix weekend, we're going to get loads and loads of extra points from the, hopefully, race weekend stuff that we get. So I'm going to go off and have a go at practice and see if I can actually get any kind of rhythm in this Hanoi circuit at all. And I'll meet you after practice and see how we get on with quali and then the race. Okay, hello everyone, welcome back to Hanoi after practice, where I've kind of got on the pace with the rest of the field. I'm not as fast as my teammate Jordan King. It's also going to be a soggy wet qualifying, so I don't think we're going to be doing very well here at all. I spent an awful long time trying to get to grips with the car around here and practicing, and I've really not got the hang of it, and as you can see I've kind of worn through an awful lot of my car. Now I'm going to be going into qualifying anyway and trying to sort out trying to get onto the grid, but I think what I'll be doing is taking lots and lots of gearbox and power unit penalties this time around, specifically because I don't think I'm going to do very well here. I'll be at the very back, but also I can strategically do that whilst we've got really poor reliability, and we've got the worst reliability on the grid. Having said that, we do currently have a little bit of a naughty build time going on after a question I answered beforehand in practice. I could look at trying to get some reliability on here. Interesting that they say that Red Bull is the least reliable car as well in that one. I'm also kind of tempted to try and stick on like a rear wing modifier here, and that's kind of where I'm pushing whilst I've got this build time percentage decrease. So I'm going to go for that. 36% chance of failure, which is quite high, but we'll get there anyway. And you can see we've got some arrivals going on here about general improvements and stuff, which is great. We've got some power unit improvements here as well. All very helpful. So that will do for that. The other thing to note is that I chose Kevin Magnussen as my main rival, mainly because the Haas is supposedly slower than us. Now we won't be tackling him today in this session, but we certainly will have a go at him in future events. Obviously we've got Monaco coming up as well, and that will be another bogey circuit where I won't be on the pace of anyone. I never am at Monaco. So this one and Monaco, I think, will be my two poodle at the backs. Singapore, I can kind of get away with. Azerbaijan, I've now got to grips with over the years. But yeah, Monaco, always a fail. And certainly Hanoi will be hellish, I think. I just don't see the flow in it at all, and it's going to be even worse now. It's peeing down with rain. Oh, hello. Nice to meet me. How are you? Okay, so it is chucking it down. For anyone who's interested, and you're looking at car setups, actually, this is my dry setup, but I will be using it because it's a dry race. 3.7 on the wings. Very strange suspension, I must admit, but I did steal it from someone set up on F1 car setup. Most of this is actually reduced brake pressure.
If you need to find some more time, remember that corner exit is more important than corner entry. Slow in, fast out, smooth on the power.
So let's go to track. Let's drive out.
Easy to start with. The track's wet.
I always thought with these types of tracks, would you even let it run if it was absolutely teaming it down? I find the pit exit here very unique as well. But yeah, I keep running wide here, and then that kind of makes me slow onto the straight, and I always lose about half a second there. I just can't get it in my head. Weather report.
Full wets seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay, so no change in the weather. Here I seem to abuse those two curbs, and that seems to gain me back some time, and then I kind of cut in. Oh, okay, I think we're okay. Just.
Be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage.
Oh, very minor though. To be fair, it's not going to stop me not being last. And then here, I keep running out of road on that hairpin. I'm getting better at it. In the dry, I mean, I've already outbraked myself, but I'm getting braver there. But this section, I feel like my car doesn't have the same rhythm lap on lap, because the tyres are a living, breathing thing, and I overcommit and then I go too wide. But then if I go down a gear on a lot of the corners, I just feel like I'm losing time. And yeah, this corner here, as you've just seen, I am woeful at. Okay, let's see how we get on. I feel sorry for the McLaren behind me. They're probably going to catch me up. Like that corner seems ridiculously tight as well. I always end up on the curbs on that one. Oh, it's slippy, and this setup does not work in the wet at all. But let's see how we get on.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Too much curb. That's let us really slow on the accelerator there. Reminds me of Paul Ricard, where there's so many oh my god, there's so many late transitions on things. Oh wow, is that parts of my wing there flying off? Look like it. And again. Ooh. I'm so sorry, Norris. This is how terrible I am at the Hanoi circuit. Session update.
8th place. You're in 8th place.
Albon had only just got out of the pits, hadn't he?
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
get ourselves back to the pits. So in the practice sessions, I was 22nd and last in FP1, 21st in FP2, and I was 18th in FP3.
The rain's easing off a bit, but the track is still going to be wet for a while.
Okay. I mean, weather report?
The rain is getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out. Full wets seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
I wonder. West 201. Christ. Way off the pace. In the wet. I was clinging on in the dry. Take two, Smithy. Take two.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car.
Yeah, look, all in the last, well, not all in, but vast majority of my drop off is on the last sector. 7.8 seconds off. Christ. I'm in the Minardi, not a HRT. Okay, so it looks like it's going to stay. I mean, that's all of the rain essentially for 10 to 15 minutes, and then it drops off at the 15 mark. But that's too late.
Lap times are dropping. Looks like track conditions are starting to improve.
Are they dropping enough though? Well done, King. And everyone's out there on wets. See where Kimmy ends up.
The car settings screen on your multifunction display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button. You can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
So we know if Kimmy is doing way better than where he should be. He is, but he isn't. Only 14th. Perez? It's only 12th. Well done, Jordan.
So far, our fastest lap is a 2:1.4.
Again, everyone's still out there on wets. Ooh, look at that though. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and go out on inters. It's only 3 temps less. Because that updates in real time, doesn't it? Yep, look, now it's only 2. Okay. This could be interesting, you know. We'll see who goes out first. That's Albon into the pits. From 6th position. Carlos Sainz in 7. It was Norris who we gave problems to, didn't we? Yeah, that 13.
I'd take a set of intermediates in these unpredictable conditions.
Yeah, we're at the crossover. Tricky, tricky. Yeah, now they're faster. But it's only going to get quicker and quicker. 15th in the speed trap though, that's not bad. Okay, let's accelerate some time. And what I'm going to do...
Intermediate tyres are your best bet in the current conditions.
Where's my car set up? Okay, actually, what are they doing? Inters. Okay, I was trying to get out there early, but let's do that for now. Let's drive
Checks
out there.
complete. We're ready.
I'm still going to be taking the grid drops, I think. Oof. Bit snap happy coming out the pits. There's Kimmy. Giovanazzi, I think we'll get out of the way for you as well. Come on, Rogro.
This light rain is going to be with us for a while now.
And let's get K-Meg out there as well. And then I think we'll be able to kind of just flollop in. The idea here is that we should, in theory, have the fastest condition, as we are last over the line. Not that it will matter one bit, because of how terrible I am. I can't even get the power down, that's crazy. Okay, that is better though. wasn't good. That was a terrible exit. Okay, quali complete. It's all on this one lap. There we go, Hamilton going pole. Oh, Leclerc beats him. Okay, where did we end up? Boom! 19th! I'm really happy with that. Good strategy. And I bet the people who are further down slightly went way earlier.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Leclerc, Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow.
Yes,
Be sure
we
to
do.
join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
Okay, Leclerc, Hamilton, Bottas, Vettel, Verstappen, Albon, Sainz, Ricardo, Perez and Ocon in the top 10 this time. Gasly just outside. Norris didn't quite get it again. Stroll slipped to 13 ahead of AlphaTauri, Kvyat, the two Alfa Romeos, then the two Haases, then the two Minardis. And Williams is on the back row, very 2x2. But I'm really pleased that we outqualified King, and that is purely because I was the last one over the line, and King was out early, I think. So, yeah, same for Williams as well. They aren't that far off, and I definitely won't be keeping them. I might be keeping them interested. Ooh. Oh, okay. New rivalry screen now. I hadn't seen that yet. Nice little improvement run. Boost level 4 now, which is good. I'm assuming. And thank God it was going to be dry for the race. Now again, we aren't doing anything here, I think. Now there's one thing I want to think about, and that is if we get new parts, I'm assuming they come out of our budget. Oh, wow, did you just hear that dog? I don't know if that's just come through. So the dog's going absolutely nuts underneath my flat. Clearly cheering me on with performance.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
Quite happy with that, mate. Don't you worry. I don't even know how we deal with tyre wear around here either, to be honest. So, yes, I'm happy to start at the back of the grid. I'm also going to do the same thing as well. Let's just do a bit of everything. And we can always fit these back on again and use them in practice. Let's go.
Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more, as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities.
Do they?
And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn 1. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness, and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Max Verstappen, and Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez, and Esteban Ocon, Gasly, Stroll, Daniel Kvyat, and Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Magnussen, Romain Grosjean, and Jordan King, Latifi, Norris, Russell, and Smith. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
159 grid place penalty. Love it. Oh dear. I mean, let's go for it because it will keep us with everything else. I don't think doing an alternative strategy is going to help us here at all. Because I can barely keep up with the field. So let's stay aggressive, and if we can cling on to people, maybe we can take advantage of some chaos. I just want to get to the end of this. Wish us luck. I'm expecting not a lot. Ooh, good start though. Oh, Norris! Ah, no.
Damage to your wing.
Let's try that again. Without being silly. We're going to be right at the back anyway. Let's just enjoy the ride. It sounded like Foo crunches though. So maybe there'll be a few people in trouble. Oh, a bit like that. How will this be in real life? I've got no idea.
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward.
I think I might be able to have these Williamses, you know. Sorry,
Brilliant.
George.
Nice move.
Ooh, that was a cut, Simon. Don't overtake. Ooh. That was a slide.
You've got plenty of energy. Use the overtake button and have a go.
I'm trying. A bit early there on the old turn-in. I'm sure, as with most tracks, it takes a while to get up and running again, and get settled into a rhythm with new tracks, I find, particularly when you're on a new game as well, with new...
Caution. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags.
Oh, Danny Rick's out. There he is. That's unfortunate for Renault. They had both in the top 10 there.
Green flag.
No. I will let you back through, Latifi. Oh, Christ. We need to focus because we're losing touch to the rest.
That front wing. It'll need replacing if it takes too much damage.
I didn't even think I'd grazed it properly. It doesn't feel like you should be able to do those types of moves. Okay, we're free. Ah, yes, King's got round Magnussen.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
What level of damage? It's the tiniest bit of front wing problem. Oh. And this is what I do when I don't have cars in front of me to kind of follow.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums. The gap to the car ahead is 3.2 seconds. We're trailing our teammate by 4.1 seconds.
I can't do that turn 1/2 bit. Tyre wear feels alright though round here. He says they're nearly binning it. Oh, Hamilton's in.
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
That feels really early, Hamilton.
Our gap to the car in front is 3.8 seconds.
I don't subscribe to the don't lose time to someone who you're not battling. Not unless you can give me DRS anyway, which you can't.
we expect the grip levels to start falling away soon.
Oh, I was meant to pit, wasn't I?
Car ahead is coming to fit the mediums. Car ahead, now running medium tyres. Jordan is in the pits. Jordan in the pits.
Oh, I don't want a new wing!
Exit, exit now.
Oh, for the love of God!
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
I was hoping that they would be able to do a little double stacky, but clearly not. Oh, I don't like this tyre at all. I feel like I was quicker on the other one. Case in point. Okay, let's try and get
We pretty much burned off
a
our
lap
excess
in.
fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down. Okay, gap ahead is 8.2 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Frustrating. And that was silly.
Gap to teammate ahead is 18.1 seconds.
Alright, 7 temps up. This is better.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Gap to car in front is 5.7 seconds.
So I've done that purely just to see if I can then beat K-Mag. On the fastest lap sheet, which I don't think we will have. Let's just turn it on down. And just bring it on home. Oh wow, Hamilton. So far into his stint as well. Christ. That's what I keep doing. I kind of feel like I've tuned out a little bit now from this race because I know that I can't do anything.
The gap to the car ahead is 7.6 seconds. We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
It's alright, we've only got 1.5 laps to go. Rival status.
They're in 17th.
Teammate status.
We're trailing our teammate by 22.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're in 18th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 41.9. This is your final lap of the race.
King's not pulling away at 3 seconds a lap, is he? Wow, Bottas really did win that one. Look at how close I was to being lapped. Way off the pace. To answer my own question, yes, King is 3 seconds a lap faster. Although I'm doing an even worse job this lap round. Ooh. Well, I'm glad I took all of those extra parts for that one, because I think it will pay dividends for when we do Spain, Azerbaijan. We're going to have a fresher car. I'll be very interested to see what it does to our budget, though.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you
Oh,
in Parc
trophy.
Fermé.
Here we are then, a fantastic Vietnam Grand Prix, and what a performance it was from our race winners today.
It was. I think Bottas was well clear. I do like that as like an actual
Anthony Davidson
camera
with a
shot, though.
resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent
Not
driving,
quite Lowe's
nailing
hairpin,
the
though.
corners, working to the track conditions, and
Or the
perfecting
Laguna
simple
Seca
strategies. They got
roundabout.
all of these
The
things
fountain,
right today,
rather.
and the results speak for themselves.
Max in 5th.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot. A well-earned victory for Mercedes.
I wonder if that was because Hamilton pitted that one lap earlier than everyone else and came out behind me. Did I change the course of that race, I wonder? Didn't hold him up for very long, or much at all. It must have only been a second or so. So if they were close, we'll soon find out. But if they weren't, that was a strategy error, unless there was some kind of thing that happened. Oh, what have we unlocked? New livery. Nice.
So, let's review the driver's standings.
Oh,
4
8
points for
seconds.
Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
It's got to be Lando Norris, hasn't it? Smooth, confident and assured. I've got no doubt that he and his team are going to be over the moon with his performance today.
It's time to see how things
was
are
his
shaping
dive
up
bomb
in the
start.
Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. There was also a strong showing from the McLaren team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an incredible weekend of racing. Be sure to join myself and Ant for more exciting Formula One action soon.
So the interesting one there is it's 2x2x2 at the top, which I kind of expected, but Hamilton there was stuck behind Leclerc perhaps and had to get through because they were so close. Sainz best of the rest. Norris with that dive bomb start, going from 20th attempt, stunning stuff. Ocon went up to 8th. Perez started on day 9. Then it's the AlphaTauri. Stroll not really getting in the points, is he? Alfa Romeos, then the 2 Haases, then it would have been the 2 Minardis, and then the 2 Williamses at the back. Crucially though, that speedy lap that I was able to put in, the 1:45.1.5, quicker than K-Mags. There was a reason. So in the standings there, Bottas so far clear of 21 points at the minute from Hamilton, who leapfrogs Verstappen. Vettel there stays in 4. Leclerc gets ahead of Ricciardo after all that. Leclerc's not had the best of starts this season. Admittedly, we're only 3 races in. Albon, that was his best run so far, so he moves up to 8th, but he's equal with Sainz. That's not good. Norris doing all right there. Stroll, one of his better runs. He moves up to just shy of the best of the rest points-wise, and same for Grosjean there. A good little standout run from him. And there you can see McLaren leapfrogging Renault, and that was all down to the Ricciardo retirement, wasn't it? What else happened on the race director? Nothing. I did wonder if Hamilton maybe clipped a wing and that's why he pitted early. Doesn't show anything though. So let's advance on. I wonder if we'll get asked any questions. Doesn't look like it. And there we go, that's the swing there, +3, +3. And that's important because we're going to need to really sit there and think about how we do stuff with Azerbaijan and co coming up. Nice improvement. We're now on number 3 there. And how are we on cash? Completed 30 laps, another 103k in the bank. I did kind of ruin a lot of rings though. Up to 1.65 million though. I'll have that. Thank you very much. And that's it for this episode then of Formula 1 My Team Minardi edition. Hope that was of interest. I appreciate the race itself after I bungled my pit stop was dull as dishwater, but yeah, onwards and upwards. Oh, it's China next, even better. Catch you then. Bye for now.